हेलो हेलो हेलो। Hello, 1 2 3. Hello.
Greetings from National Academy of Medical Sciences, India. Focusing on NAMS Vision 2030, NAMS is pleased to share some of the important activities like NAMS National, International Fellowship and Membership, Member After Day and Beam NAMS, NAMS Task Forces, AIMS NAMS Navigate Medico CME, CME activities, publication of annals, newsletter, networking with professionals, public orations, Young Scientist Fellowship, Scientist Exchange Program, scientific visit of Emeritus Professor and many more activities. All application forms for fellowship, membership, associate fellowship, and member after Day NB have been made online and objective criteria from the year 2022. NAMS has also started a new online AIMS NAMS Navigate CME and Navigate Medico CME program to assist in the development of competencies among PG students and share multimedia learning resource materials as e-library. NAMS has also started 21 task forces to address medical issues of national importance. Under publication activities, NAMS has its own annal as Annal of the National Academy of Medical Sciences. In addition, NAMS also publishes its quarterly NAMS newsletter. For more details of NAMS activities, please visit our NAMS website www.nams-india.in or scan QR codes with the camera app. Greetings from National Academy of Medical Sciences, India. Focusing on NAMS Vision 2030, NAMS is pleased to share some of the important activities like NAMS National, International Fellowship and Membership, Member After Day NBEAM NAMS, NAMS Task Forces, AIMS NAMS Navigate Medico CME, CME activities, publication of annals, newsletter, networking with professionals, public orations, Young Scientist Fellowship, Scientist Exchange Program, scientific visit of Emeritus Professor and many more activities. All application forms for fellowship, membership, associate fellowship, and member after day NB have been made online and objective criteria from the year 2022. NAMS has also started a new online NAMS Navigate CME and Navigate Medico CME program to assist in the development of competencies among PG students and share multimedia learning resource materials as e-library. NAMS has also started 21 task forces to address medical issues of national importance. Under publication activities, NAMS has its own annal as Annal of the National Academy of Medical Sciences. In addition, NAMS also publishes its quarterly NAMS newsletter. For more details of NAMS activities, please visit our NAMS website www.nams-india.in or scan QR codes with the camera app. Greetings from National Academy of Medical Sciences, India. Focusing on NAMS Vision 2030, NAMS is pleased to share some of the important activities like NAMS National, International Fellowship and Membership, Member After Day and Beam NAMS, NAMS Task Forces, AIMS NAMS Navigate Medico CME activities, publication of annals, newsletter, networking with professionals, public orations, Young Scientist Fellowship, Scientist Exchange Program, scientific visit of Emeritus Professor and many more activities. All application forms for fellowship, membership, associate fellowship, and member after day NB have been made online and objective criteria from the year 2022. NAMS has also started a new online NAMS Navigate CME and Navigate Medico CME program to assist in the development of competencies among PG students and share multimedia learning resource materials as e-library. NAMS has also started 21 task forces to address medical issues of national importance. Under publication activities, NAMS has its own annal as Annal of the National Academy of Medical Sciences. In addition, NAMS also publishes its quarterly NAMS newsletter. For more details of NAMS activities, please visit our NAMS website www.nams-india.in or scan QR codes with the camera app.
Greetings from National Academy of Medical Sciences, India. NAMS has been recognized by the Government of India as a nodal agency for promoting the continuing medical education for medical and allied health professionals. National Academy of Medical Sciences encourages and sponsors nationwide CME programs, symposia and workshops in basic sciences and applied clinical disciplines. In the virtual meeting held on 13 December 2022, more than 200 directors, deans, principals, CEOs, faculty members of the medical colleges and medical institutes decided unanimously that there is a need for the NAMS National Virtual Graduated Medical CME, Navigate Medico CME, program for PG students, MD, MS, DNB, MDS. Accordingly, the Navigate Medico CME program was launched on 22 January 2023 by the NAMS President, Professor Dr. S.K. Sareen. Each online session is of 2 hours covering practical aspects as per the needs of the PG students in the identified theme areas. Thank you for your kind support.
Hello and welcome everyone to the next session of Navigate Medico CME program. And this time the topic is really interesting and I would say that's important for all the disciplines. This time topic is One Health Approach in India and Future Preparedness, and to be presented by a very famous scientist of India, Dr. Pragya Yadav ma'am. So to start with session, I would like to request Professor Umesh Kapil sir, Secretary, National Academy of Medical Sciences, for the welcome address. Over to you, sir, please. सर आप म्यूट पे हैं सर.
My apologies. Namaskar and good afternoon to all of you. It's a proud privilege on behalf of National Academy of Medical Sciences to welcome all the participants, the speaker, and colleagues who have kindly spared their valuable time and joined this Navigate CME program. NAMS initiated this activity to ensure that the continued medical education is imparted to all the postgraduates as well as MBBS colleagues who are serving the country in the all parts of the country. We try to bring the best of the best speakers so that they can deliver state of art presentations and which can be extremely helpful to all the postgraduates, young faculty members, and the medical officers. If we look our country, we have about 120,000 MBBS students, MBBS colleagues who pass out the exams, but not more than 20,000 get into medical colleges. And they all prepare for the NEET examination. We sincerely hope that these Navigate programs would help them also to prepare for the NEET examination. My most sincere thanks and sincere welcome to Dr. Pragya Yadav, who is an eminent scientist who developed COVID vaccine, played a major role in development of COVID vaccine. Madam, we are most grateful to you for your kind presence and sparing your most valuable time with all. I hope that this particular session will be enjoyed by all the participants. With these remarks, I stop over here and hand over the proceedings to Dr. Jaswant, who is a assistant professor in psychiatry and who has been helping us in all the Navigate CME program. Over to you, Jaswant. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Now, I would like to request Mr. Raviji for a message from President National Academy of Medical Sciences, Dr. Digambar Behra, sir. So we would like to listen to his words of wisdom.
My dear young colleagues, faculty, and officials of the National Academy of Medical Sciences, a very good afternoon to all of you. With immense pleasure, I invite you all to this program. National Academy of Medical Sciences, that is NAMS India, it was established on the 21st April of 1961 with the objectives of promoting the growth of medical sciences. It was inaugurated at New Delhi on 19th December 1961 by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, the first Prime Minister of India. The NAMS fosters and utilizes the academic excellence of health professionals in the country as its resource to promote excellence in medical education and skill development in the field of medicine and allied sciences. The Government of India has recognized the Academy as a nodal agency for promoting continuing medical education for medical and allied health professionals and is advising the Government of India on several matters of national health policy and planning. The best in the field of medicine are part of this umbrella organization, and who is who of medical science guide the NAMS. The National Academy of Medical Sciences encourages and sponsors nationwide CME programs, symposia, and workshops in basic sciences and applied clinical disciplines. The aim of the National Virtual Postgraduate Medical CME is to facilitate the postgraduate students and young faculty members to increase their knowledge in the medical subjects, to navigate them to be more proficient in their profession and pass their NEET and PG examination to become better doctors, eminent biomedical scientists, teachers, and researchers. As a part of this responsibility, NAMS, in collaboration with the AIIMS New Delhi and 16 other AIIMS-like institutions of the country, has initiated this navigation program in the form of dialectical lectures and discussions. The program is regularly held every first Friday of the month at 3 p.m. The best and useful topics are carefully chosen and the best teachers from various aims are picked up to prepare and give these lectures. I am sure you all will enjoy these talks and will like them and found them useful in your future lives. Thank you.
So, after the message from the president, now it's my honor and privilege to introduce today's speaker, Dr. Pragya Yadav, ma'am. Ma'am is a very, I would say, renowned personality, and all of us have seen ma'am's work through news, through scientific publications, and recently through book and movie also. So, ma'am is currently director in charge of National Institute of One Health, Nagpur, and she is scientist F and group leader at Maximum Containment Facility (ICMR) National Institute of Virology, Pune. Ma'am is also biosafety advisor and instrumental in establishment of polio essential facility and validation of MBSL3 at ICMR NIV Pune. Ma'am is biosafety and biocontainment expert. She is also known for her research contributions in the field of biosafety, re-emerging high pathogens including CCHF, KFDV, Nipah, Zika, SARS, COVID-2, Mpox, yellow fever, Ebola, and Bunia viruses. She has worked for discovery of many novel pathogens, which has led to improvised national public health surveillance and policy for intervention and management. Her exemplary work during COVID-19 pandemic with the successful isolation of uh, SARS-CoV-2 virus from clinical specimens, which was then utilized by Bharat Biotech International Limited to generate the first indigenous vaccine in India, that is Covaxin. So subsequently, she successfully led the team who carried out several preclinical studies using Covaxin, which paved the way for clinical trials. Her special roles and publications, she is the fellow of National Academy of Medical Sciences and National Academy of Agricultural Sciences India. She is member of many national and international committees on biosafety and biocontainment, helped in conceptualization of many guidelines on the high risk viral diseases. She is on the editorial board of several journals and has publications more than 344 papers in national and international journals, including the reputed Lancet and Nature. She has many awards and recognitions in her name, including Dr. Ramachandra Rao Award for Outstanding Research in Medical Entomology 2025, Vigyan Yuva Shanti Savrup Bhatnagar Award by the Honorable President of India in year 2024, NAMS Women in Medicine Award 2024, Bharat Bhagya Vidhata awardee by the Ministry of Culture in 2022, and COVID Warrior Award by the Governor of Maharashtra 2020, and also Major General Sahib Singh Sokhe Award by Indian Council of Medical Research, and there are many more. So just the short list was introduced to all of you. So, with the brief introduction of ma'am, I would like to invite ma'am for the today's session, and I would like to request ma'am to for her pearls of wisdom. So, ma'am, over to you, please, without wasting much time. I think it would be a privilege to listen to you. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you very much for kind introduction. I would take this opportunity to thank the president of NAMS, who is doing extraordinary work for promoting the agenda of NAMS in medical sciences. My special thanks to Dr. Umesh sir, Secretary of NAMS, who has been really a wonderful person to promoting not only the agenda of NAMS, but reaching out to different people to bring them at this different platform in activities. I would like to thank the NAMS staff and members, Deputy Secretary, and Mr. Raviji for making this event successful. With this, I would like to thank in advance itself all the members who have joined to share my thought with them. So please just confirm if the slide is visible.
Yes, ma'am. These are visible.
Just make it full view. One second. Is it full view now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. So today I'm going to speak on One Health approach in India and future preparedness. So this is a new term which is very much used across different activities. And during the G20, it was lavishly used, and there was a new coin was called Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam, which is a mool mantra of India's philosophy. And we always believed that we are one family. This One Health actually indicate toward the similar kind of process, and why we are talking now One Health post pandemic. So that's what I just want to bring to attention of everyone. So as we all know that pandemics has been a part of human life, and we have seen many deadly pandemics that include many plague infections which kill even people up to 200 millions in numbers. And then we have seen many flu infections, which has led to larger outbreaks. And there is some of the example. In 17th century, there is a great plagues which killed 3 million people. In 18th century, there was 600,000 people got infected. For cholera infections, third plague, yellow fever, and HIV/AIDS, which introduced in 20th century. So likewise, there are many other infections, Spanish flu, Russian flu, and in 21st century, we could see emergence of many zoonotic infection, including not only flu, but also many other infections coming from different families of viruses and also the bacteria. Out of these infections, there was a large number of deaths in the past, and during the COVID pandemic, we also further could see that how a disease infection can lead from one area to other and spread across the globe and have capacity to kill a large number of people. But not only that, we also realize that emerging infectious disease are the reality, and there are many diseases because of our different interventions, different activities. They are emerging, and their emergence has actually caused a damage to not only the human lives but also animal life and environment. And this class of diseases also known as re-emerging infectious disease. More importantly, we learn by many ways that out of these infectious disease, there are many who are zoonotic infections. Those infections which are emerging from animal and then they are transmitting to human. And some of the example, if we look at in India, viral diseases, Casanova forest disease, which is spread across the Western Ghat, the Nephard infection, which is reported from Kerala state. We have seen pandemic influenza in 2009, a Crimean Congo hemorrhagic fever, Zika, and monkeypox is a recent introduction across the globe from some limited 7 endemic countries. So these infectious disease is spreading not only in India, but they're also getting imported and they're also getting transmitted from India to other countries. During the COVID pandemic, we could realize that any variant of concern, if it emerges, it can reach in any part of the world within 2 months. And in spite of all the different kind of restrictions and precautionary measure, nobody could stop virus from reaching from one era to another. If you look at the Prevent Epidemics web page, which actually keeps showing the report weekly and monthly, what kind of infections are going in a part, then at the same day, we can see different viral, bacterial, and fungal outbreaks going across the globe in spread across the globe. So this is a picture of taken at particular time point where you can see that within India itself, there are many infections which is going on and they are leading to the outbreak. And the reason is a very clear that we are disturbing not only the wildlife but also disturbing the we are doing deforestations, and there was a major factor which actually contribute in transmission of diseases, also the travel. By many different routes, we could see a large number of people, animals, and vector are moving from one place to another. So if any disease emerge in any part of the world, it become a global issue because no one knows when this disease will transfer from one area to another. And this is a networking which we can see of the flights across the globe, how people are flying in a day or in a week, and that actually lead to transfer of the disease along with them. If we talk about management of outbreaks, we always talk on some principle of anticipations, preventions, preparing, detecting, and responding. And during COVID pandemic, there was many financial calculation which lead to understand that the kind of money we spend in responding, if even 1/10 of money if we can invest in preparing, then when the real situation would come, we will spend very less amount, and we can save not only the lives, but we also could do the early containment, avoid the panic and spread of infection, and saving large number of deaths. So this is an example that if we can detect a disease or cases at early phase, we can be very impactful in such kind of scenario. We also realized during COVID that biothreats could be deliverables, which can be with the deliberate method where bioterrorism or biowarfare is engaged, but it also could be a natural kind of occurrence where an accidental release can also lead to outbreaks or spread from one country to another. So these are the some concept came, and people have been very much aware because of the very good scientific media reporting during the pandemic. But prior to this pandemic, the government of India made a lot of efforts for working on pandemic preparedness. And there was some of the efforts which I would like to mention to this August gathering, that BSL-3 facility was established in 2005 in NIV Pune, thinking that this institute become a very good a resource responding to any such emerging infectious diseases. Then in 2009, when pandemic H1N1 happened, then a network of VRDL was established by Department of Health Research, Government of India, and which is now 165 across the country. And these are the labs who supported during the COVID pandemic for the testing in the first year. And then we had grown more laboratory across the country, and now we have more number of labs. In 2012, we realized that we require a BSL-4 facility, which is the highest level of containment where you can work on any highly infectious disease, even if there is no treatment or there is no therapy available, in a very creating a safe environment where you can work on any pathogens, on animal, do the research, preclinical studies, and this facility was made in Pune by indigenous effort with the Indian company. Then further, we could make a recent innovation was done during 2022 during the pandemic. We came up with the mobile BSL-3, which can be deployed in any part of the country during the outbreak in any area, any district or state for responding to outbreak. So these VRDL facility, which is established in 2009, they have a capacity to detect every day 20 to 25 viruses of public health importance. The data is generated and reported to the portal, and then this data is reported across the different ministries, and it relies for responding and fast action on the outbreak. The Resource Center for Training and LQMS and Data Mining is done at ICMR, NIV, and National Institute of Epidemiology. They manage the data. There were multiple efforts in the past from the ministry, health ministry, to train the healthcare worker, so that whenever such kind of outbreak happen, we should able to not only detect them, but we also prevent them. And when the cases are reported or admitted to the hospital, the healthcare workers should able to handle them safely by not infecting them. And these efforts were continually going on. And this is one of the example which I would like to put it here. In 2019, November, when the Ebola outbreak was going in African countries, there was a country-wide healthcare training actually was going on, and this was the time when the SARS coronavirus emerged. But before that, there was many efforts to do the preparedness on Ebola, yellow fever, KFD, CCHF, Nipah, Zika emerged in 2017 in country, but it was started spreading in many countries in 2015. Then this year, whenever you open the newspaper, you can see some or other state are reporting avian influenza virus, either in human or in the different kind of poultry and also in the animal resources. The monkeypox virus also came in the news a lot because it started spreading in 2022, and then it reached to almost everywhere in different countries. So if we talk about the COVID-19 pandemic and response from Indian side, initially when the pandemic started, we lacked many things. We lacked the infrastructure, PPE, and so on. So there was a lot of struggle in the beginning. And as soon as the China not only declared but released the sequences in the first week of January, there was a lot of preparedness started in the country. And India, because of those preparedness, we could detect the first 3 cases which came from Kerala, from Wuhan, and immediately the sequencing was done. But after that, slowly everybody realized that this is going beyond the outbreak, and maybe it is going to spread more. We require some more ways to deal with this pandemic. The problem was not that only, but we have a standard citizen who got stuck up in other countries, including Italy, Iran, and there were challenges of sequencing of genome of the positive cases and so on. So there was a lot of actions which was required, and we all know I don't have to actually to describe the COVID pandemic because everybody is aware of, and being a medical student or being part of the faculty, most of the people know what we did in COVID pandemic. But what I wanted to summarize here that during this pandemic, we could see the virus was mutating, and it was not only mutating, but it went to a state that it was constantly mutating, and each variant of concern, they had thousands of variants, and the genome sequencing, a new term, genome surveillance become a new terms in COVID pandemic to not only monitor, but while introducing the vaccine, it was required to test efficacy of each variant of concern. When people got 2 doses of vaccine, then this discussion started if we need booster dose or so on. So there was a lot of new concept, new challenges which we could see in COVID pandemic, which was not there. And we could also get aware of this first wave, second wave, third wave due to these variant of concern which emerged time to time, and which impacted not only the people but also impacted the vaccine program, because a different vaccine could not be function against some of the variant of concern because of their change in the virus. But there is certain good thing about COVID pandemic that while we struggle for the livelihood, human health, governance and security, social system, and most importantly, economic system, it impacted economy of not only India, but globally it impacted largely to each country due to its impact. But there was one thing which I would like to mention here, that in this crisis, the scientific community and the government bodies and the approving body, they came out with a system. Can we fast track the vaccine process? Can we fast track making the vaccine, but also the approval process? And we could see in the history that a vaccine is getting approved in 6 months, 8 months, and 10th month. And those were not local approval. We are talking about WHO emergency use licensing. Such kind of approvals were given in such a crisis. So these are the sum of positive point which COVID had brought. And there is a one health concept which also got introduced due to COVID pandemic. So emergence of COVID underscores the urgency of strengthening the One Health approach. It also got the One Health knowledge, preventions, and key derivatives of drivers of the pandemic. It emphasized the need of enhanced surveillance, integrated health system, and it emphasized that how we need to address the linkage between human, animal, and environmental. While we were working disconnected from one sector to another sector, it was also realized that we cannot do further if we want to be a prepared country for such kind of a crisis for the future. During the pandemic, there are certain beautiful additions to the country, which I would like to add here quickly. That we could initially, while we were struggling for the testing, we now have more than 3,000 labs, and we could test crores of the sample per day during the crisis. We could make different kind of diagnostic tests. We could make the antigen kits, and in different phases, we enhance our testing criteria. We could now bring the custom-made solutions for large area, district level, field level, and these innovations happen at every single level when we are talking about everyday's life. The another challenge, the change which could we see in India, that we could introduce many vaccine, which was not only the indigenous in nature, but also the vaccine which was made by other industries, but we could bring in the country, and industrial partners, they could make in bulk, and that was not only given to the Indian community, but we could share to a larger number of population in different countries in the world. We enhance our BRDL facility, which is more in the number. We have large number of COVID lab across the country, which include not only the government labs, but also the private partners, industry partner, and we enhance our capacity by this means. We could also enhance the clinical trial capacity, and in India, we can do any trial at any given point very quickly. We become a hub for the vaccine, therapeutics, and manufacturing. So this also got a lot of attention on infectious disease, and now even a nursery going school child knows about the virus and they remember the name of diseases. So this also has emphasized that we could enhance hospital infrastructure, good investment in health, indigenous kits, reagents, and INSA-CoG genomic surveillance network was formed during this crisis period. And we could also demonstrate a beautiful use of digital platform by use of CoWIN, Arog Setu, and so on. So these are the some of the success story, and one of them is how we could become a vaccine hub during this crisis. The government of India used two approaches. The first approach was R&D, product development, large clinical trials, and that helped in country supply, global supply, vaccine diplomacy. And the example of these vaccines are Covaxin and DNA vaccine. The second approach was leveraging international science by technology transfer, bridging studies, augment protocols, and that helped in making Covishield, Gemcovax, Covovax, Carbivax, these vaccines, which led to the larger productions and sharing with the rest of the world after finishing use in the country. There were many challenges for the production of these vaccines, and Government of India supported not only in the funding, preclinical, clinical studies, epidemiological studies, and DCGI actually fast-tracked the regulatory processes, advanced purchase order, at-risk manufacturing, raw material, and expedited batch testing areas. So these are, and this also got a lot of good discussion across the different sectors, how we can be doing better, how can improve on these factors. So this is a network of BRDL, which you can see in the left side, where we have covered across the country different, and these laboratories are located at district, state, and regional level, and they have different capacity for not only the testing, but also outbreak investigation and R&D. We could have this BSL-3 facility across the country who can deal with infectious diseases. We got a network of next generation sequencing, which can do the genomic surveillance and large number of molecular testing. With this, there was another beautiful concept came, that why just one NIV at Pune, why we don't have more NIV-like structure. So Government of India announced 4 new NIV-like structure, which are coming in Dibrugarh, Jammu, Jabalpur, and also Bangalore. So these are the 4 new infrastructure which will come, and they are already in a process to making. And within a year or 1.5 years, these infrastructure will be functional. They will be aligning with the regional and zonal institutions to work on different issues of national importance. We had different guidelines for working BSL-3, which different guideline policy document, which was released not only in the pandemic time, but afterward using different expertise across different sectors. And that is another success story of India, that we did not follow the guideline released by some organization, but we work on it and we try to modify as per the need of Indian community and so that it can be more adhere and more appropriate for it. In the past, WHO has declared few diseases as a high priority disease, which is CCHF, Ebola, Lassa, MERS coronavirus, Nipah, Rift Valley fever, and Zika. But when everybody thought the next pandemic would happen with influenza virus, because the influenza viruses are the one who has caused most of the pandemic in the past. But once the SARS coronavirus outbreak happened in 2001, and now SARS coronavirus 2 caused such a big pandemic, everybody realized that we should not be getting biased because of the history, but we should do more better analysis to find out that what pathogens can be a next pandemic causing diseases. So to understand this, WHO formed different committees of 300 scientists, and I am part of Bunya virus family scientific committee. And these scientists, they came together and they did a risk assessment, and by a very difficult method, every group find out of 29 families, finally it reached to 26 families of 218 pathogen, and then it was prioritized. Out of 25 families, among 185 pathogens, finally we could reach to pathogen, which is declared to be priority pathogens for each family. And these family, now there is a call for this is called a COR, Collaborative Open Research Consortium for each priority pathogen, and India ICMR is working on the paramyxovirus family, where we are working on this cork. So every one family, one cork, and then working on those different aspects for R&D, surveillance, therapeutics, how we can improve within that particular family. So these new concepts, which actually came because of the pandemic. In the past, most of the approaches required to tackle epidemic or pandemic was reactive. When the outbreak happened, we run to the side, we try to do the damage control. But everybody relies in pandemic that this model would not work. So there is another fact which everybody realize, that if some country make any model, it cannot be applied to other countries. So country specific, synergistic, One Health response framework required, and that actually response it should be appropriate to human, animal, plant, and environmental disease threat. It should be ready-made plug and play platform for medical counter measures of emergencies. So these are some of the new realization which came during the pandemic. There is another point which I would like to highlight here, that as I said, that most of emerging infectious diseases are 70% are zoonotic in nature. So if you can look at this is a very good picturization came in Lancet, where different we live in a very close harmony with animals, and they are a part of our life. So not only there is a possibility of zoonosis, but there is also possibility of reverse zoonosis, when from human to animal we can pass on the infection, and that can lead to the high transmissibility. And this is a very good example that how the viruses can emerge from animal and then reach to human, then spread to a larger community and lead to the pandemic. And so this also lead to understand that how we can enhance our early detection of any new disease or disease X, which we call as, and how we can leverage on infrastructure developed during COVID-19 pandemic, how to improve surveillance using syndromic, event-based or surveillance at animal-human environmental interface. And there are certain very good concepts which came in the pandemic: the early detection and forecasting, genomic surveillance, best water surveillance, and AI-based tool. And the most important, intersectoral collaborations and coordination to realize One Health. After immediately the COVID pandemic, the Food and Agriculture Organization of United Nations, UN, WHO, and World Organization for Animal Health together, they work on developing in One Health joint plan actions, that how we can enhance and utilize these policies in a way that it can be applied to a larger countries. And then they brought this concept of 4C: communications, collaboration, capacity building, and together it become One Health, where we are going to address environment, human, and animal, and the society by local, national, regional, global, and reaching out everyone in the concept of One Health. Under this beautiful document, which is supposed to be completed in 26, there were 6 tracks. The action track engaged enhancing One Health capacity to strengthen health system. Action 2 include the risk from emerging and re-emerging zoonotic epidemics and pandemic. Action track 3, control and eliminate zoonotic, neglected, tropical, and vector-borne disease. Fourth is strengthening and assessment, management, and communication of food safety risk. And fifth is antimicrobial resistant. And sixth is integrating the environment into One Health. On the same way, when this was going on across the globally, everybody is thinking the India also, our highest committee is called Prime Minister Science, Technology and Innovation Advisory Council, a PM SITAC committee. They sat together, and on 21st meeting on July 7th, 2022, they came with the decision to have making national One Health vision. And they also came up with the position and the place. And now there is this national One Health vision is in has been rolled out, and it is being monitored from principal scientific advisor and integrated network framework developed collaboratively with across ministerial efforts, and this framework facilitate coordination across sector for priority activities. So you can see this is a new institute which is coming in Nagpur. Is called National Institute for One Health, and the foundation stone was laid down by Prime Minister Shri Modi ji on December 11, 2022. And with the 4 zonal NIV, this institute is addition. So this institute will have the BSL2, BSL3, and BSL4 facility to address the need of One Health, working together with the different 11 ministry and state government in a way that Apex Steering Committee, which includes Secretary, DGs, and chaired by PSA, One Health Action Group, nominated member of relevant ministry department. And this institute will actually provide the space where all the different ministry people can be deployed, and they can work together as a one group, one team, and one family to address the need of not only the pandemic preparedness, but the local issues of the country wherever we require innovation, surveillance, enhancement, and so on. This also actually include the working with the academia, industry, multilateral organization, and with the international organization. So some of the goals of Nation One Health Mission include to coordinate overall pandemic preparedness and integrated disease control of human, animal, and plant sector, early warning system built on integrated disease surveillance system, response readiness for endemic, emerging epidemics or pandemic threat, address targeted R&D to develop vaccine, diagnostic, and therapeutics, and readiness in terms of clinical care, streamline data and information linkage. This also include importantly implementing integrated disease surveillance, where we need to merge all the data of clinical epidemiological data, disease surveillance program, environmental sentinels, non-traditional data, and bring together making together with all the data coming from different laboratory from the country, and merge all the data to have an integrated disease surveillance program. There is another important factor which is part of One Health is environmental surveillance system, where we have to develop methodology for environmental surveillance, a sampling method, lab assays, and the pilot across human, livestock, wildlife sectors, so that we can enhance our surveillance at the airport, vectors, milk, animal affairs, juice, sewage, and then merge all linkage between different data surveillance system, so that we can create a very good environment services system in the country. The most important next is outbreak investigation mechanism among the human, livestock, wildlife, in a way that we can merge all the data from a rapid response team to state surveillance, central surveillance, linking with the national, state, and district, and finally, it should be an integrated surveillance system. So the governance of National One Health Mission is two-tiered. The first is executive committee, which is chaired by Honorable Health Minister, and the PSA is the vice chair, and the member Health Niti Aayog, who is a permanent invitee. The scientific steering committee is chaired by the PSA and provides overall scientific direction, oversight, and guidance to the National One Health Mission. One Health agenda is a priority for the country, which was again and again emphasized during the G20 by different summits, programs, and scientific discussion. And again, it has been given as an example that how we can use One Health agenda on priority, improving the country's response. On this line, the first thing which was done, forming a national joint outbreak response team from each department and sector. The nominations were received and they are put on the NGOT response team. Whenever there is outbreak, they're supposed to be called and immediately they're supposed to be to reach to the site and respond to these outbreaks. The required biosecurity training for such kind of setting was done last year in the NIB Pune and also the Nishad to handle the human and animal different kind of samples, and also how we can respond to human disease or animal disease, how we can create the linkage and merge all the data for outbreak settings. So these are some of the examples under the NOHM activity where different activities, trainings were done for different part and including different sectors participants. The next and very important action which was taken by a very specific committee, that national network of existing and upcoming high-risk group pathogen laboratory of BSL-3 facility, which include laboratory from ICMR, DBT, CSIR, DAHD, ICR. And so now we have a functional 22 laboratory and more laboratory, whoever are coming in the future, they will be part of this network. Then there was a very particular tool was developed for assessment of these laboratory, and any two expert can go to any laboratory, they can do the audit, they can assess them, and then they can provide the advisory and also the approval if they are doing fine or not. And this tool we are publishing in the form of manuscript, which we are preparing it. The next and very important part is how we harmonize different SOPs, which is being used in different sectors. So all the SOPs in different sectors were was merged together, harmonized, and now it is available for all the laboratory, which they can use it for these purpose. The first national mock drill addressing the pandemic preparedness was done in Ajmer, which included different partners across the country. And this mock drill was planned for very systematic way. It was the first mock drill of the country and at this scale, where a simulation activity of influenza A, which is H5N1, highly pathogenic, was simulated in Ajmer district of Rajasthan in August 24. And then different team was decided for back end, front end, observers team to do the work. The purpose of this national mock drill was to assess the readiness of national joint outbreak response in case of any high-risk group of pathogen of outbreak, assess intersectoral coordination, preparedness, and efficiency of different stakeholders, health, veterinary, and wildlife sector at national, state, district, and sub-district levels, and also to find out the administrative challenge, resource constraint, and gaps in communication during these activities. Different stakeholders coming from Ministry of Health, including DGHS, NCDC, DHR, ICMR, NIB Pune, Indian Council of Agricultural Research, Ministry of Environmental, Forest and Climate Change, Rajasthan Administrations, AIMS, Jodhpur, JLN Medical College, Veterinary Chief District, Ajmer, Panchsheel Urban Health Center, Ministry of Home Affairs, and National Security Council Secretary. These all different sector people came together in this area where the mock drill was done, and this activity was done, and then the outcomes were evaluated, that how we can reduce the gaps between different sector, how we can do better in next mock drill. And these mock drills will be frequently keep happening in different sectors without telling anyone, so that we can do the true assessment. And this was published on PIV, that what was the purpose, why we did this, and how we can take it forward, these learning lessons from mock drills. Some of the examples of One Health, which I would like to summarize for the members, that Nipah outbreak, which we all know that first outbreak happened in 2001 in West Bengal, and then we are seeing annual outbreaks in Kerala state. And from 2018 to 24, there are 8 outbreaks reported. In 2024, only single fatal case. But with the time and with the different coordination across different sectors, the outbreak started with a very high mortality in India, with the 68 cases in Kerala, 20 cases, and now it has reduced to always single fatal case or single survived case because of very fast diagnosis, response, containment. And to adhere more, we had this new mobile BSL-3 facility which can be deployed and it can be quickly samples are tested. 12 medical hospitals of Kerala can do the testing, and that actually this year in 2024 they could do even retrospective analysis of AS cases and could get one positive case. So the diagnostic is improving, the coordination is improving, and that actually help in management of these high infectious disease. In past, we did a countrywide survey of bats. Bats are the responsible for transmission of Nipah virus, and we could see the hotspot area in our country, which include not only the Assam, Bengal, but also we could see hotspot and I mean Kerala and many other states. So that also warned that we should keep an eye on this virus and we should always alert and be responding outbreak at very, very fast speed. Another example, which I quickly can define, the monkeypox outbreak, which happened and started spreading in 2022. And with the very quick actions, a presence of laboratory network, we could not only detect all the positive cases, we could sequence them and we could trace the contact history, and that has actually led to all clade 1B cases, which we all know that in August 2024, WHO declared that that was a public health emergency due to emergence of clade 1B spreading across different countries, and India could detect is all cases so far, which is mostly imported cases, and we could sequence and immediately inform to the health authorities that how we can quickly not only the contain but also stop the spread of the infection. There is another example of One Health, the Cassonute forest disease, which is spread because of the tick bites, and mostly these ticks stay on the monkeys. But whenever human go in close contact in the forest areas, they get bites and they get infected. This is a very old infection, and initially it was thought only present in Karnataka, but it is now present in Western Ghat. So for that, a network of KFD detection was initiated. Now we can detect timely, but at the same time, there was a need of vaccine. So we collaborated with Indian Immunologicals, and a vaccine is in making, which will be undergoing soon for the clinical trial. So different R&D, different surveillance, and all these methods, if we can put together, we will able to respond for any disease quickly. Under the NOHM, there is a provision for funding, which is given under the R&D, vaccine, monoclonals, diagnostic, and surveillance head, and many projects, such kind of project has been funded, where One Health approach is being used by different agencies for making vaccine, monoclonals, and diagnostic. And to enhance the surveillance, we all know that, as I mentioned, that different kind of surveillance is required to surveillance the human-animal interface, and best water surveillance, AMR, avian influenza, other pathogen surveillance. And to enhance this surveillance, very specific studies has been launched. And the first studies was such kind of the slaughterhouses, where we have seen the animals are butchered and then the people are engaged, and there is a very high possibility that these infected animals can transmit the disease to human being, and then it can lead to the community. But in India, we don't have any such data. Zoonotic diseases at wildlife, livestock, human interface, the zoos, and also the bird sanctuary. So there are different studies which has been planned, and one of the example is this slaughterhouse, where we have used different veterinary institutions from ICR. Then we have many VRDL laboratory, ICMR laboratory, data management, NCDC, they are all part of it. And this study was launched in August. The study is already going on, and I'm sure that the finding of this study will lead to enhance the surveillance in this sector. Similar kind of studies are also under a plan, and now it will be launched in next month on the bird sanctuary interface, where human and birds are getting interacted, how the infection from birds can lead to human, and what new infection, what methods we should use that we can immediately detect those kind of infection. There was a pan-India syndromic surveillance for respiratory infections was launched in 2024, and we have 73 sites which detect influenza, SARS coronavirus, RSV, and NIFA was launched in West Bengal and Kerala exclusive. And this data is available on the portal, which can be seen weekly that which virus is circulating in which area. The different committees, which is already in the place, are working very closely with the principal scientific advisor, with not only the secretary of each ministry, but also different nominated scientists and public health expert to bring the concept of One Health mission to a success. With this, I would like to quickly also define that how Government of India has worked on PM Ayushman Bharat Health Infrastructure Mission and working on different sector to enhance the healthcare across the country, from block level to the city areas. There was a requirement of nurturing medical devices and diagnostic ecosystem, and Tech Mitra has been launched in collaboration with the CDCSCO and DCGI, and which actually leading to transforming the industry. If you are in Delhi, you must have seen a beautiful launch of TB Innovation Summit, where more than 400 innovators came to display their different innovations on only TB that include not only the diagnosis, but also the prevention method and so on. I could see some of the beautiful robotic system for decontamination of the spaces. So I think we have, India is having a beautiful innovations. People are really intelligent. We need to just bring all of them together, and we need to bring all the capacity together so that we can use each other's capacity rather wasting time in doing duplications. A beautiful concept also came from the government union cabinet, where bio E3 biotechnology for economy, environment, and employment policy to promote high performance biomanufacturing is also launched this year. So that is another beautiful approach how we can enhance our goals and plans and encourage the R&D and entrepreneurship in the country. So with this, I would like to first thank all of you for listening me. But I would like to thank Professor Ajay Sood sir, who is a PSA to Government of India, Dr. Rajiv Bahel, Secretary Department of Health Research, and DG ICMR, who motivate every day us to work on One Health Commonplace. And he would like to see actually this One Health mission become successful, and we should able to see this stream very soon. Dr. Atul Goyal, DGHS, he has been a very guiding a person during the mock drill of the country, and constantly is supporting the One Health agenda. Dr. Parvinder Mani and my colleague Dr. Nivedita Gupta, with whom I work very closely, and she is the one who actually initiated this One Health concept, how we can plan, and a lot of studies are planned under her leadership, and which is now being able to see the day of light. Director NCDC, Dr. Sindura Ganpati, Dr. Simmi, Dr. Himanshu Chauhan, Dr. Sangeeta Agrawal, she is working with us very closely for One Health Mission, and all the stakeholders, members, expert of National One Health Mission, who are contributing at different levels to make this successful. With this, I would like once again thank you. And we have to remember that when we protect one, we help protect all. And this is the main mool mantra of One Health. And with this, I thank you once again.
And then animals and plants, like this, like securing health of all is the way to achieve health for like human and everyone. So like we have a doubt We have a okay. We have a query from Dr. Rakesh Kumar Mahajan. There was no specific mention about actions directed at climate change in risk mitigation of future pandemic fears. So, any structured plans to decrease human animal interface in the face of food scarcity compulsions of some countries?
So yeah, thank you. It's a wonderful question. We still need to reach to that point. Though one NOHM has not taken this activity because the talk which I am doing is focusing on the pandemic preparedness. But of these factors which you have mentioned, and climate change is one of the very important drivers for causing emergence of diseases. I'm sure I'll have a more answer on this aspect in future. Thank you for a wonderful question.
Right. Another question from Dr. Bharat. Thank you, ma'am, for discussing this important topic. A doubt for young adults who just turned 18. Is COVID vaccine still needed for them or they have herd immunity?
So as we all understand, during the COVID, mostly people they got the vaccine either and in the pediatric form or in the adult, and most of the vaccine which was made now they are not effective with the ongoing uh, variant of concerns, or because virus has muted a lot. So to catch up to those, actually we have to have the new tweak the vaccine. But so that's why the government of India is not giving any more vaccines. And if you may, I'm sure that you have not seen any recommendation of such. So no, we are not recommending or we are not promoting any vaccination now. Thank you.
Right. Uh, Ma'am, just a doubt from my side. Like, I have my own doubt that the risk of COVID that is completely gone or that's still there because there are continuous rumors in the news or maybe through some international newsletters that so and so cases were found in China or in some other countries, and many people are infected by this, and it is spreading over a higher rate than the COVID. So, are there any still there are chances of COVID or it's completely over?
No, COVID is not over. So we cannot say that because if you remember in 2009 when H1N1 introduced, after the vaccination and a large efforts, actually, the H1N1 stayed with us and still is with us, constantly mutating and part of our routine life. People get infected, severe infections. Similarly, SARS coronavirus is not going anywhere because none of the vaccine which was introduced in the pandemic, though they were life-saving, but they were not giving sterile immunity. So it cannot stop the transmission. And virus kept mutating. So all the vaccine which was made now, they are not effective against a virus. So, but the same time, because people either got infected or so they have hybrid immunity of the vaccine and also the different infections. So we don't need, that's why people are not promoting the vaccine. But there is a lot of guideline and emphasis on the people who have comorbidity and they are at high risk. Example, immunocompromised population, the old people, they need to be have precautionary measure while they're traveling in the flight if people are infected. So after pandemic, we also observe that people are not following any mask, even if they're getting himself, they are infected, they're sneezing, coughing, they don't care about other people. So we also need to bring that kind of civilization part that if you're sick, please at least make sure that other don't get infected. And it is not question of COVID. Actually, the infections of new diseases will also emerge. So we at least we should follow those lessons which we learn in the COVID pandemic. The SARS coronavirus is going to stay with us. It's not going anywhere. And people will keep getting sick and again. But you must have seen that the young generation actually doesn't impact. They don't get an infection. The pediatric population also don't get impact. So the only people who are at high risk population, they should able. So even in the booster dose was also recommended to the comorbid high risk population only in the later phase. Now there is a committee from WHO is called TAG COVAC, which monitor across the surveillance of SARS coronavirus, and I'm part of that committee. So recently there is still KP3 SARS coronavirus strain is mutating and under the circulation. Even some of the vaccine agency is still making these new vaccines, though appetite is very less now. People are not interested and it's not maybe required as well. But the research on COVID is still going on.
Right. Thank you very much, ma'am. That clears doubt of many listeners and uh, participants. So the next question is from Dr. Lakshmikant. Is AMR is priority under OH mission? How it's addressed under OH initiatives?
Yes, another very important part. So MR is definitely part of those six periphery of the objective. And to address this, there is a new project which is under launch for especially for the antimicrobial resistance, where we are going to monitor the MR not only in the human but also in the veterinary side, in the wildlife side, and that will actually also make us get the data of the country, that how it is impacting. And AMR would be a very highest priority for the One Health program.
Right. Thank you, ma'am. Are there any other doubts or queries? Since we are fortunate enough to have our queries solved by ma'am, and she's with us for today, like for this session, so we can ask her directly. Right. Okay. So, ma'am, I think there are no more queries. All the questions, I think they have been answered during the presentation. So, this have been enriching presentation for all of us, ma'am. Uh, I would like to request Professor Ajay Kumar Sood sir, Deputy Secretary of National Academy of Medical Sciences, for the vote of thanks, sir.
Thank you so much. Anyway, on behalf of the National Academy of Medical Sciences, it is indeed my great honor and privilege to thank the distinguished speaker for this afternoon, Dr. Pragya Yadav, ma'am. And we are really grateful to you for your nice presentation. And especially you have given us a new concept, which many of us were not aware, that One Health approach and One Health national mission. So I'm sure that all of us who are working, particularly in the community health and public health, they have greatly benefited from this presentation. And your contribution towards the development of vaccine, I think it is everybody knows. We have a movie as well as a book from director from DG ICMR, Dr. Bhargava, going viral. And I feel that book is available on the Amazon. And all of us who are working in the public health sector must go through that book, which tells us how we successfully manage this pandemic. So thank you so much, madam, for being with us and giving us your valuable time. And we look forward for your support and blessing to the Academy in future also. Thank you so much. I will also like this opportunity to thank all the participants, especially the faculty members, deans, and principals from different medical institutions who have been supporting this program. Again, I will mention it is your own program. So please come forward. You can act as a faculty resource, NAMS resource person. You can send us the topics which you would like to sort of cover during these. And for the students, we are grateful to you for being with us. And it is, I think, great privilege to listen to the eminent speakers from all over the country. And as Dr. Jaswant said, you are going to interact with them directly. So our next session is due on 4th of April. And there again is we are going to have very interesting topic, how you can successfully manage your personal life as well as the academic life in the medical profession. Because all of us who are working in the medical profession, especially on the clinical side, you're too busy in the hospital, and many a time we neglect our personal growth and family. So this session is going to be taken by a very eminent psychiatrist in the country, Dr. Shiv Gautam, and he has kindly agreed to take this session on the 4th of April at 3 o'clock. So in case you have any queries related to this, you are struggling in professional as well as in personal some problem, I think he will be happy to answer that. So I will also mention for the benefit of the PG student that NAMS, in collaboration with Indian Council of Medical Research, has started biostatistical helpline, which is for the postgraduate student from all over the country. You can register and it is free, and you can have the consultation from the best statisticians and epidemiologists in the country. So please refer to the NAMS website, or you can just link on the ICMR website, and you can register that. Another information is for those who are computer savvy and technology savvy. NAMS has started certificate course, online certificate course in artificial intelligence for medical and health professionals. We started this course last year in collaboration with the IIT Hyderabad, and we had enrolled more than 142 participants. So it is 12 weeks program. For this year, again, the registration is open. So you can just refer to the website of IIT Hyderabad, and we are going to start this course from April onward. So these two information for our PG student, also the young faculty member who are interested in artificial intelligence. So once again, I will like to thank all who have joined us this afternoon, and special thanks to our speaker, ma'am, for making this presentation so informative for all of us. Thank you so much once again. Over to you, Dr. Jaswant.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. So I think now, with your permission, we can mark the closure of this session. And thank you very much, ma'am, again. Thank you.